So yesterday we saw the Buffalo Bills defeat the Kansas City Chiefs 30-21. Josh Allen was pretty good in this game. 12 carries, 55 yards, a touchdown, 262 yards passing, a touchdown, passer rating of 83, QBR of 82. Those two statistics cannot make less sense given the fact that they are so far away from each other. Patrick Mahomes was fine, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, threw a crucial pick to end the game. Josh Allen also had a really bad pick on 4th down, which is 4th down. What are you going to do? Granted, you probably don't want to put them up in good field position. But this Bills team just feels a little different. In years past, I would have absolutely taken the Kansas City Chiefs to beat the Buffalo Bills handily in any scenario. And I know that the Bills have beaten them in the regular season before, and we saw, I think it was last year, Patrick Mahomes kind of going crybaby on everyone after a flag didn't go their way, but we all have those moments. I didn't hold it against Patrick Mahomes. You shouldn't either. Dude's a winner, although he had a bad moment, and that happens. Josh Allen is finally starting to see his final form. He's finally starting to reach his prime. And the Bills have finally surrounded him with the correct talent he needed. James Cook, Khalil Shakir has been a revelation for this team. Curtis Samuel was timely in this game. And a big play receiver in Amari Cooper who is now starting to get back. And they weren't even fully healthy. They still got guys like Keon Coleman, Dalton Kincaid. They didn't play in this game. And still the Bills won. Now, undefeated at home this year, 5-0, the Buffalo Bills. The Kansas City Chiefs also undefeated this year at home. It just basically shows how much home field advantage not just means for the Chiefs, not just means for the Bills, but means as a whole in the playoffs. If there was a year that you were going to pick against the Kansas City Chiefs to win in the playoffs and get to the Super Bowl once again, this is the year to do it. And I know it's the tired, same old narrative. The Bills beat them in the regular season. Chiefs beat them, dismantle them, end their season in the postseason. But something is just a little bit different this year. Khalil Shakir is really coming to his own. James Cook is really now a force to be reckoned with, running the football, making things tougher. Josh Allen poses a threat of being the best dual threat quarterback in the NFL, if not the best dual threat quarterback in the NFL, and potentially maybe even the best runner. Yeah, I said that. Potentially over Kyler Murray and Lamar Jackson too. But with some of these extra weapons, and Joe Brady running the offense, Khalil Shakir, Amari Cooper, Keon Coleman will come back, Dalton Kincaid will come back, this team just feels scary. And you look at the inverse of the Kansas City Chiefs. It's different than last year. They don't have Isaiah Pacheco right now, although he will potentially come back very soon. DeAndre Hopkins is starting to look a little bit older, like I had mentioned before. Still much better than what they had. Definitely an upgrade at receiver, but he's older. Travis Kelce. Are we sure he's going to turn into prime Travis Kelce in the playoffs? Like, we know he's done it before, but are we 1,000% sure he's going to do it again? I'm going to do it. I, for one, am going to put my money where my mouth is. I think this is the year the Buffalo Bills finally get it done. I think this is the year they not only win the Super Bowl, but take out the Kansas City Chiefs. And I understand we've had this story before with the Buffalo Bills. But it is not Josh Allen and a whole lot of nothing these days. They've got weapons everywhere on this team. Joe Brady seems to be a very good offensive coordinator, and Josh Allen is starting to hit his prime. And there is no question about it. He should 1,000% be the MVP. He is over Lamar Jackson. He is over everyone else. It's not really a conversation right now. Lamar Jackson has got to play better in bigger spots like Josh Allen has done. I expect Josh Allen to not only win the MVP, but this be the year he takes down the Kansas City Chiefs and makes it to the Super Bowl and outright wins it. So with all the reasons that I love the Bills, new weapons, Joe Brady seems legit, Sean McDermott seems like he's softened up, changed his ways just a little bit, James Cook is coming into his own, and it doesn't look like the offensive line is garbage like it has been in years past. It's almost so much so that I am taking the Buffalo Bills over the Chiefs this year in the playoffs and to make it and to represent their team in the Super Bowl or to represent their conference in the Super Bowl. It's not just what I like about the Buffalo Bills. It's what is going against the Kansas City Chiefs this year. We are now at week almost 12, and Patrick Mahomes still has not played particularly well. I still think Patrick Mahomes is elite, still think he's a great player, nothing against Mahomes. But he doesn't really have a ton of help either. DeAndre Hopkins, although I like the trade, still an older guy. And are we sure? Are we 1,000% sure Travis Kelce is really going to be that guy in the playoffs again? Another year older. This defense is obviously incredibly stout, and it's not me judging against the Kansas City Chiefs. I think they're going to make it to the AFC Conference Championship game. But I think when it comes to a team reaching the heights of where they've been over the last decade, and the Kansas City Chiefs coming down just a little bit, and not to mention, it is incredibly difficult to win a Super Bowl once, twice. There's a reason why no one has done it 3 times in a row. There's a reason why no one's won back-to-back since the New England Patriots days. It's not just me picking the Buffalo Bills to beat the Kansas City Chiefs. Part of it is just me picking against the Kansas City Chiefs to do it again. It's incredibly difficult. There's been a lot of talented teams over the years, but in the NFL, sometimes you just get got. And I think this year, the Kansas City Chiefs are just going to get got. And just really quickly, I mentioned this just a second ago, but I want to harp on it once more. Josh Allen and the MVP conversation, it's over. If the Bills win 3 more games, there is no doubt in my mind this guy is the MVP, and I'm not so sure how particularly close it is. He has consistently for years carried a team on his back that, yes, this year finally has weapons, but in years past, didn't have a running game. The offensive line was just okay, shaky to say the least. Not a ton of weapons on the perimeter. Dealing with Stephon Diggs is nonsense constantly. And what did he do? Continuously prevail. Not only is this MVP deserved to go to Josh Allen, it is incredibly long overdue. I could not tell you how long for years I've been saying if we were giving the most valuable player to actually who is the most valuable player, it's Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills. Because no team was as reliant on one player than outside the San Francisco 49ers to Christian McCaffrey than the Buffalo Bills with Josh Allen. This year, it is not only deserved, it is long overdue. And you can make the argument for Lamar Jackson. Listen, I've seen the guy consistently in big scenarios, and I'm a Lamar Jackson guy. I've defended him through and through. But he's like 2-14 in games that really matter in the playoffs or against the Pittsburgh Steelers as well. Combine those 2 records, he hasn't been great. Josh Allen just shows up in big spots, and oftentimes without a weapon in sight. This year, he's got those guys, and now he is consistently doing what he does best. Potentially the best dual threat quarterback in the NFL. And if you were just looking at this season, if you were just looking at the past 2 regular seasons, Josh Allen has been the best quarterback in the NFL. Now, Mahomes, when it matters the most, MVPs, Super Bowls, he clearly is still right now the best quarterback in the NFL. But if you had never watched football before and you were just watching the last 2 seasons, there has been no one more impressive than Josh Allen. He literally runs the ball as good as he passes it. He has no weakness. You cannot expect to eliminate Josh Allen. You can only hope to limit what he does. Contain what he does. So, Buffalo Bills get a much-needed win over the Kansas City Chiefs. We'll see how it goes in the playoffs, but as of right now, I do think the Buffalo Bills are the favorites in the AFC to make it to the Super Bowl.